forgot to click that one off. Welcome. People, I wonder if people have not seen that one frame missing in the. Do you think most people tune out during the intro? They're walking around or they're not paying attention to it.
I think most people don't watch the show, so we're probably okay.
That's true. That's true. That's probably true. That's probably true. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it's. I mean, how much do you watch? Shows you watch all the time, or like a series you're binging or something. Like, how often do you watch the intro?
If it's Peacemaker, 100%. If it's anything else, not much.
If it's a good intro,
yeah,
I'll sit through it. Like
the X-Men intro.
Oh God, what was that? The new one, where the it's a split. The dude goes to work and someone else takes over, or he takes over, but that's someone else.
No, now you got. I haven't watched it yet. I know what you're saying.
It's the dude from the
Severance.
Parks and Rec.
Severance.
Yeah, Severance. There you go. That intro I'll fucking watch every time. That intro is awesome.
Yeah. Also, I think we all just froze because I went to nice. It went fast. I went to adjust my noise gate. What's going on today? Huh?
No, dude.
It's crazy. It's crazy out here. It's wild. Yeah, Severance good, Zeke. Did you finish that? I've heard okay things.
I did. It was very good. Like I enjoyed it all the way through.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's got the Zeke recommendation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of that, I just started the Katie hadn't seen the second season of The Boys, so we just got done with the second season, watched the first episode. We both watched the first episode of the third season for the first time.
Is that the new season?
Yeah, season 3 I think is the newest one.
Okay. Yeah, season 3 starts off cranked up to 11.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. Please don't spoil season 2 because I have to catch up to. I watched the first season and loved it. So
yeah, we're watching. Me and Jericho started watching those on stream. I think we're doing whatever the latest episode is later today.
Okay. And you watch all of them on stream?
Yep, they have all seasons on the watch party thing because they're all Amazon shows, right? So cool. They've got them all there. So yeah, we're checking that later. I've heard this most recent episode is it's everywhere on Twitter and everyone talks about how insane it is. I have no idea what happens, so I'm curious to see how that goes. It's called Herogasm. That's the name of the show.
Well, I had the benefit of reading the comic. Like,
yeah,
I think I read all the comic. I think it had. Sorry,
I'm telling you, it's a weird show. There's weird things happening today.
No,
I don't know what it is.
No, I had a benefit of reading the comic before watching it, and it's like I was prepared for what was going to happen in it. It would be like you didn't read Crossed, either of you, right?
I know what Crossed is. I've seen.
Yeah.
I've read the first episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the first issue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's in a similar kind of like no holds barred, like sex and gore and immorality and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
all my favorite
when I picked up The Boys, I just love seeing everybody's like reaction to it, going, yeah, right.
Yeah. You got to watch wasn't it in the first issue of Crossed? Is that where the guy was fucking a dolphin, which is like not saying that now it's kind of tame compared to everything else, but I think in Crossed they fuck a dolphin.
I feel like you should warn us before saying that. Like there should be a disclaimer.
Maybe.
Like incoming bestiality, and then
I think in general, maybe that should always happen. Anytime bestiality is going to pop up, there should be a warning.
Probably. Yes.
But that's also kind of the surprise / maybe fun of bestiality is that you don't get a warning. You know?
There's not anyone quote that out of context, please.
No, it's one of those fake
JP
titles.
Trying to get our channels taken down today.
Wouldn't be the first
one of those phony like parody pornography titles in The Boys is Deep Dozen in the Blowhole.
Uh-huh. That's true. So Cohh, what have you been watching lately?
Games.
Nice.
Lots of games. Yeah, I haven't had time to watch anything lately.
Yeah.
It's been a whirlwind of finishing Dragon Age Origins and playing Raft on the open sea, doing that for a long time lately.
Yeah.
Riding my bikes. Kids.
How you say bikes plural? Are we up to 3 bikes? Where are we at with the bike count?
Yeah, actually just traded in my Hayabusa, so I am no longer
Now,
a Busa man.
speak to gamers who don't leave their houses and or ride motorcycles. What does that mean?
Okay, a Hayabusa is it's a motorcycle type. It's really fast. It's like having a rocket strapped between your legs.
Okay,
Um,
I can see
and
why you would
it's
trade that in.
yeah, it's the thing is though is it's incredibly uncomfortable and it's
Mm,
designed for like straightaways and tracks. So
mm,
it was fun for a while, but these days, I don't have a huge amount of time to ride. So the last thing I want to do is be uncomfortable for like 45 minutes. I'm going fast. It's a lot of fun, but
sure.
it's yeah. So I traded that in for a bike called a Ducati Super Sport 950S, and I
Okay,
have
I
been
know Ducati. I
really
know that
liking
name.
that. Yes, Ducati. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. Great. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's a lot more comfortable. It's still super fast. Sounds wonderful, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very
Fantastic.
relaxing.
What are the other bikes that you have then outside of the Ducati? Did you get that
Uh,
Keanu Reeves bike yet?
Not yet. No, they're still backlogged. They haven't started working on them yet. They are hoping to at the end of this year though. So I have a design meeting towards the end of this year at some point for that.
Nice.
But right now I have a Ninja 1000 SX and a BMW R1250 RS,
Okay,
and then the Ducati.
nice.
And I am good on bike.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for chat's reaction to those to see if I should be excited for you or judge you accordingly.
Yeah, yeah. It's not. They're not to be excited about. They're
Okay.
they're good bikes. They're good bikes.
Got it. They're good
You
bikes.
never get like I can never get used to those like the street bikes. I guess the ones where you're like
Sports bikes.
hunch over. Yeah, the sports bikes. There you go.
Yeah.
I can never get like used to those. It's just too much torque. I felt
Crotch rockets.
out of control. Yeah, but like I'll say like once I got onto a soft tail deuce or the like
Mhm.
the one I have right now is the Heritage Classic. That felt right. Like you just kind of like sink into the seat, and it's a big heavy bike, so you just like cruise along. It's more for probably an old man like me. Speaking of old men, happy birthday!
Thank
That's
you.
right. Yeah. Happy
I
birthday,
appreciate
Joe. I
it.
forgot about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's I'm getting old.
Turn
was
20,
great. Great birthday.
24. The ripe age of the old age of
ripe age
24
of
on Twitch.
24. Actually, it was 25.
Oh.
But,
Okay.
that's
So
okay.
I missed
That's
last
okay.
year's. Yeah.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah. Apologies. Yeah. Yeah. 25. It's the oldest streamer on Twitch. Who is the oldest streamer on Twitch?
Somebody in my chat said, "Man, Cohh must be the oldest streamer on Twitch," and then somebody else said, "Nope, I watched an Asian guy who looked like he was 40, but was actually 70 plus doing art."
Oh.
So
Oh.
apparently there was there was an artist streamer, a very old artist streamer guy. He apparently looks pretty young, but he
Yeah.
said his age on stream, and he was like over 70.
Yeah. I know.
Power to him.
There's also WoW Grandma. that's the channel WoW Grandma. I don't know her age, but definitely up there. Is WoW
There's also
Grandma-
apparently there's a 70-ish-year-old Euro Truck guy, Euro Truck Simulator. There we go.
Okay. Is
Rami's
WoW Grandma
mom
Skyrim
streams.
Grandma? Is that the same person? Chat.
I have no idea.
What were you saying, Zeke? I think we spoke at the same time.
No, the one that came to my mind was Rami's mom.
Yeah, I have no idea what her age is, but
Isn't
I would
Sacco
assume-
39?
I mean, if Rami's about our age, let's say 35,
probably at
And
least
then-
70,
yeah, she's 60.
60,
Ish.
70, something like that. Yeah.
And also, like, I can't believe, like, no one said me when you asked if there was, like, older streamers or someone said there's older streamers. Like, I'm getting up there.
Do you want the nice answer or the snarky answer?
Ooh.
Snarky.
Ow.
Always snarky.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start with nice. You actually don't look that old.
Ah.
Thank you.
Now for snarky, that would mean that someone would have to watch you.
Oh.
But if they watch you, Cohh, they've seen me on this show, which is probably, they probably call it, like, co-frames or something fucking
You would
cutesy
think
like that.
but I actually put a black box over your image and use a voice.
Oh,
every time
you! I
talk.
knew
Yeah,
you did that, you
that was-
son of a bitch. That's why I lose followers every time I do this show.
It's
I
part of
don't,
the
I don't want to
contract.
get you any
Part of
like
the contract.
periphery PR or anything, like, yeah.
I just had an 8-year resub anniversary in your channel, and I am done. I'm
Done after 8?
unsubbing as of now.
Yeah. That seems about
I am
right.
done. Okay, now I gotta go see what I am in you.
Uh-oh. I think I saw 95 on YouTube.
Ooh. It's an ESEN anniversary.
What?
I like it.
What does
I like
that mean? I'm at 90. Damn. I thought it was
You got
95.
8 years too?
Oh yeah, man.
Ah, shit. I thought I was closer.
Until baby.
I gotta wait 10
Next top live
months.
streamer, homie.
Oh yeah, dude.
So that means April of
We need
next
like
year.
some kind of like gang sign for it. Next top streamer, yo. Yeah. Woo.
April of next
All
year,
right.
Zeke, you're gonna play a game for a day. That's when mine
Okay.
comes up. How long was Cohh said Eason? I don't know what the fuck that means. How
ESEN. Nice. Verse.
Oh,
96 months.
Yeah, 96. Oh, I
that's one of you've been on TikTok too long, is what that is.
Hey,
Jeez.
you'll learn soon, young Padawan.
Look,
I saw your tweet.
Unfortunately browse TikTok way too much.
Yep.
There's something insane about how fast you get to just watch something on TikTok compared to every other thing out there. Like you're just watching something immediately.
The big thing about TikTok, I was talking to someone about this, about why would people ever watch or use TikTok?
Yeah.
It's the fact that they have an algorithm.
Yes.
But you get bite-sized things, and it's like somebody equated it to like watching television. You just flip through channels.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like on Twitter, you only like generally see, people you follow or what they follow. And then on Twitch, the discovery there is always an issue. Same on YouTube. But with TikTok, it's just you're constantly going through stuff you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Like all the time. And it's like that's what I think is a draw for a lot of people. It's almost like other mediums should be looking at that and being like, we need to implement something like that.
I'm sure they are.
That's because it's one of the reasons that it's successful.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think YouTube put in like YouTube Shorts because of TikTok, right? Like that whole product line is there because of TikTok.
YouTube has all of its own discoverability and usability issues. Like
true.
They have no centralized like this is our brand and our vision kind of thing. So people like don't even know how to use it.
That's very
They
true.
just it's a big problem.
I saw it was a weird Friday for a lot of reasons, but one of the smaller reasons was I saw Philly D out there saying fuck YouTube, and I would have never thought that I would ever see him saying that, and it was because his video about the Supreme Court ruling on Friday got suppressed on YouTube, which means it doesn't show up in like suggested videos or anything like that.
Really?
And so he was like, yeah, fuck this platform. Like, this is why TikTok is so much better these days. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Wait a second. He just
going on?
He just praised the Chinese government for
yes
transparency.
Yes. I mean, look, China don't care as long as it's not about China, Cohh. They don't give a shit as long, at least I think you could even say anything you want on there about China because the app in China is different from our TikTok app.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. That's what my chat was informing me.
Philly D is a big YouTuber. Yeah, he's a large political and current events YouTuber. So
yes.
He
He does. I forget. He does like a daily.
I don't think that's
show?
the first time that's happened to him though. I vaguely remember that happening on other videos at other times too.
Might be true.
Maybe he just got tired of it.
Yeah. Maybe this was the straw. Yeah. Anyways, that's our
anyway.
TikTok
We don't cover that stuff anyway. Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah. What were you saying, Zeke?
My lady watches Philip Frank all the time.
Yeah. I mean, he's got
current events.
Massive reach. His daily videos are definitely huge. So. Anyways, we're going to do a little bit of news. Definitely a slow week. I think this next week is end of quarter, so that's when everyone decided to release games. There's at least 6 games that I'm interested in coming out within 3 days, so thanks a lot, everyone, for doing all that.
Cuphead DLC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What else?
There's Cuphead DLC,
yeah.
Outriders DLC.
Yep.
See if we can guess it.
Okay.
Cuphead DLC, Outriders DLC. Zeke, you have any other guesses? Oh, Monster Hunter Rise. That's a third. You said 6?
Yep.
6.
At least 6. I think there might be 7.
Zeke, nothing. Oh, Fire Emblem?
Nope,
Maybe?
that came out last week,
No. Okay.
which I heard was actually pretty good as far as Musu games go.
Dang, dude, I
F1?
am legit stumped.
What did you say, Zeke?
F1?
Yeah, F1's part of there.
What's one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because of the VR
Great.
element. I have never watched
Great.
an F1 race with enthusiasm before. I
D-
just
DNF?
I'm not
VR.
taking
DNF
these from my
duel?
own mind. I'm looking
DNF?
at chat.
DNF, yeah.
Is that one of them? DNF?
That's
What is
5.
DNF?
DNF is a fighting game made by the people published by Arc System Works. I don't know if it's the same development team that did Guilty Gear, but it's the same. I think it's free to play fighting game. I don't think
Those
there's any
3 letters together are giving me very, like, I don't know why I'm looking at them. I'm getting very angry. It's bringing up memories, and I don't know why.
I don't either.
No, see, that's
Did not
DTF.
finish?
I don't know what DNF even stands for in the fighting game context.
I know it stands for in the car golf game. It means did not finish.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Zeke's like, that's
it's
it, I'm
not.
off this show. Rips off his headphones.
Speaking of that,
It's not free to play.
Wait.
To correct myself.
so we got 5. What's the last one, JP? Just go ahead.
Dungeon Fighters?
No. Overwatch 2 beta starts on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Oh.
I'm
Now,
at
is-
least going
is
to
that
check
a-
out the new hero.
Is that a
That's it.
rehash of the last beta plus a new hero, or is it like
I think so,
single player
yeah.
element and-
I don't think I have not seen if there's many changes to it apart from the new hero. I am not that like clued in on what is being put out this week. So that's part of the reason why I want to just check it out. I got to at least see what it is for a couple hours, and then we go from there. We'll see if anyone else.
That's a lot of
plays
games
it.
coming out. My lord, man. What's your streaming schedule with that then?
I don't know. The nice thing is my wife went on a very long vacation, like 11 or 12-day vacation. So it's just me and the dogs.
Jesus.
So I could just play video games whenever I want, however long I want, and sleep whenever I want. It's great. I'll probably just sleep more
Awesome.
and play games less, to be honest, but we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of games out. Zeke, why are you chuckling?
Just because you said, like, it's going to be nice. My wife is going on a very long vacation. I'm like, better not let her hear you say that, right?
No, she knows.
Like, say it's so lonely. It's going to be so lonely and terrible without
Well, that's
her.
what the tweets are there for. Yeah. Again,
Well-
like Cohh said at the start of the show, no one watches this, not even my own
We're good.
wife.
We're good.
So I'm good. We're this will never make its way to her feed. So we're good to go.
Oh,
No, it's funny you say
DNF
that
is
because
not
mine
published
has
by
been-
Arc. It's developed by them. Publisher is Neopol Nexon Korea, which is the owner of the IP Dungeon Fighter Online.
I was bound to
There
get
we go.
something wrong there. So I
There we
took
go.
a stab and went with it, and I was wrong. That's how it goes.
I liked it.
Yeah. It was believable. That's
I believed.
That's what worked. Yeah. Funny how she's always vacations without JP. That's the life of the Twitch streamer. Unfortunately, is you don't get vacations really, and if you do, it's because you're already established and made it, and you can take one for that long, or you have a failing Twitch channel. There's no in between.
Well, that's the life of
That's terrible.
It's the
life of a
truth.
small
God.
business
It's the truth.
owner. It's the life of a
If
small
you-
business owner, right?
That's
If
true.
you're if you're the owner operator of your business, like if you're not working, you're not making money.
That's
like,
true,
and I'm
yeah.
saying small business, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying like if you own a a well-functioning business. If you own a small business, if you're not working, you're not making money, and that's always the concern with streamers because we're like our own small businesses. If we're not streaming,
Yeah.
nobody's watching. We're not like it's like a YouTuber that stops making videos for a week.
That's very true.
So what you're trying to say is we need to hire other streamers to stream on our channel whenever we take vacations, like you would hire somebody to run your store while you're gone.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Although I don't even didn't that work? Wasn't there an age of YouTube? We'd have to get Jericho in here because I think he actually did this. Wasn't there an age of YouTube where you would basically take like a smaller channel under your wing, but then make a contract to where you would get a portion of their earnings when you would promote their channel? And a lot of channels like blew up because of this. And then there was a shit ton of drama because it was always a bunch of kids that were like making these contracts. Well, not an MCN. I'm saying like the creators themselves were the MCN. I guess maybe that's how some of those MCNs started. I think.
By the
that
way,
happened.
can I just say, earlier when you said that, I had the biggest image of JP like with disheveled hair and a big cigar. And he's like, "You're either living or you're dying in this industry." Just like you're just yelling at the top of your.
Yeah, you must have
You're
gotten
either on
in
the
that
way up
time
or you're on the
machine.
way down.
Must have gotten in that time machine. That's in
Oh, man.
about 6 months. Yeah, that's 6 months
So,
from now.
Code, got any room under those big wings of yours for a guy?
Not for you.
Ouch.
Is that a
You're
fat
too-
joke or is that I'm a shitty joke? Like I could go either way on that.
Ouch.
Let's go with both.
Ouch.
No,
Yikes.
I mean, I would feel like here's the
Wowzers.
thing. Like for those that don't remember, I actually had a streaming group that was a similar premise a long time ago. I had the Coalition Stream Group, and the whole point of it was
Yeah,
that I would bring
right.
in smaller streamers and I would raid them at the end of the time and everything. And funny enough, that had a whole bunch of issues that came with it. You know, like that. Some had felt favoritism, others like felt like they had to make sacrifices I didn't ask them to make, and like it was a big thing. So. Then I started another streaming group with a similar premise, but like people around my level that had its own issues, and now I'm just not in a streaming group. I do want to bring back the Coalition team, but it's going to be very different, a lot more like casual, just more of like a helpful thing. But yeah, that's something I'm still working on years later in the right way to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's
nearly as easy as people think, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways.
Anyway,
Coincidentally, my wife is going on vacation without me as well.
Nice.
She's going on a vacation with her sister.
Where is she going? If you don't mind me
She's
asking.
going to jolly old England.
Oh, my
They
wife
should
went
say
to
jolly
Scotland.
old.
They should,
Yeah.
No, that's not that close. I was going to say they could hang out. Not really. There's like
they're
multiple
both in
hours.
Europe. They should shake hands.
Yeah, they should really
Yeah.
just get some tea together. It's all so
They're
close.
in Europea. That's awesome.
Yeah. When does that occur, Zeke?
That occurs a second, but the funny thing is,
Okay.
like, my one of my uncles is celebrating his 70th, and all the family's coming to hang out and celebrate the 70th with him.
Oh, is that in Montana or is that in Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm gonna head up there for
Hey, I speaking
like
of
4 days.
Speaking of Montana, did anyone were they affected by the park, the floods? I didn't realize that was so close to Billings until I started watching all the news reports this past 2 weeks ago, whenever that was.
I saw some people on social media talking about it, but my mom didn't call me and tell me like
anything
anything
happened?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brothers, nothing, like no family I had there like decided to tell me about it, and of course, like
Gotcha.
if that doesn't happen, then I'm like, it's probably fine. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it got crazy there for a minute.
It did, yeah. For those that have no idea what I'm talking about, the Yellowstone National Park had like historic flooding, where like highways were just completely ruined. They had a bunch of houses that were just taken by said floods. So the footage is remarkable from all of that stuff.
I'm embarrassed to say I learned about that on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah.
They actually had,
right.
it was actually pretty cool. They had like Yellowstone, I think, either has a TikTok channel or one of the like resort things there. And what they were doing is they were flying drones.
Yeah.
Like over all of the flooding while it was happening. So you could see like a road, and a road would just be like winding around a hill, and then it would just stop. And like there'd be a hard down and then just water flowing for like 300 feet. And then the road would just continue on right afterward.
Yep.
It was crazy, man. I thought it was fake at first.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen that footage, definitely check it out. It's wild to see that flooding could cause that type of damage, because you don't expect like Coach just said, a literal highway to just be completely cut in half from all the flooding. So, you guys want to jump into some gaming news? There's not much this past week. It's been a slow week. From Software, the Miyazaki came out and said that the unannounced titles in the final stages of development, and whatever the next title is that he's working on is currently underway. So that, of course, set the internet abuzz with rumors of Bloodborne 2, Armored Core, whatever the Elden Ring
All
DLC
the standard
is.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, whatever that could be is apparently underway. Maybe we see that at Game Awards this year. Maybe Keeley gets another one in terms of
Armored
announcement.
freaking Core. The time is now. We have waited long enough.
Yeah, is that where
It's
are you
my
going
head is
camp
at
Armored Core and not camp
I
next Souls game?
dude, they just had one of the biggest successes with like Elden Ring.
Uh-huh.
I am hoping that they're just like, okay, let's ride that for a while because we got DLC and stuff coming. We know that we can capitalize on that for Elden Ring. Let's hit them. Let's give them a 1-2, right? We're gonna keep Elden Ring going and that style with the DLC and everything and the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's hit them on this side with like something different but still comfy, still a little bit like super nostalgic for a lot of people. But especially if they made one these days, it would feel brand new. So I think that would be a very good choice for them.
Now, what
Like
if
not only
they
because I want it, but because it would work.
what if they did an Armored Core that was also a Souls-like? Is that not good enough?
So you're saying like an open world adventure Armor Course game?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could totally be behind that. The thing about Armored Core is it's such a different style of gameplay. It's like really fast. You know, it's super cool. It's mecha. It's futuristic. It's sci-fi. I mean, if they could somehow wrap that
Yeah.
well in like almost like think like old school Xenogears when you're in the mech suit. You know, like the game would primarily be in the mech and in like an open world environment, but then you'd like dock at base and go in and do stuff in there. Not necessarily like as playable, maybe menus and stuff, but I they could make something like that work. But here's the thing. I think the core of that game is just in the gameplay. So as long as they nail that and they make it look really pretty, because we haven't really had a pretty Armored Core game ever.
Yeah.
I think that would be enough. That would be enough.
Armored Core is like an arena battler type deal, right?
It's like a mission.
It's like mission-based arena thing where
Yeah.
you do something and then you go back to the menus and get another mission, and that's the loop, right? Having
Pretty
never
much.
played one, essentially, I think I've seen enough footage to put that together.
Yeah.
But I've never played
They're
it myself.
super quick, super tight. Like they're a lot of fun. And if you like mecha, it's like the go-to fast mecha experience. You had like growing up, you had like the Mech Warrior, which is like the slow tank mecha.
Right.
And then you had the Armored Core, which is like like the Gundam thrusters on all your stuff zipping around mecha. So
Okay. You have me
Yeah.
at Gundam. That I'm on board. Let's get a new Armored Core. That's the next one. Or maybe it's not. We'll see.
yeah, there was Hawken, but Hawken had its own set of issues.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I played Hawken. It tried.
Yeah, it tried, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those games that's fun for a little bit, and then it's like you put it down, you never think about it again.
Did you play Chrome Hounds for the Xbox?
Oh, I
back in the day?
loved Chrome Hounds.
Yeah,
I
that
was
pretty good.
so sad when Chrome Hounds 2 got like canceled.
That was a game.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I think they may have announced it, or maybe they just hinted at it or something. But I remember a lot of people were hoping for Chrome Hounds 2, me being one of them. I loved Chrome Hounds. It was such a cool premise and such a cool concept. But
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
What about Zone of
It went
Enders?
with the 2 human. Never played that one.
I mean, it's not bad.
Zeke, you do any mecha games?
I never
Really?
did. I never got into any mechs. Like the only mech thing I ever did was we had this place in our town called the Dreamers Guild, which was where they sold
God.
D&D books and magic cards and all that shit. But they also had tables that you could rent per hour, and do your D&D game, do your magic games, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And because they were a fantasy store, like back in the 90s, they weren't making a ton of money. Because Magic hadn't quite blown up the way it did eventually. But so I sat down at a table. You could sit down at a table like sometimes, and there'd be people playing a game, and you'd ask them what they're playing. Like, hey, you want to come play? We got a character sheet for you. And I sat down and I played like a mech tabletop game, and that was like the only time I've ever really played a mech game was tabletop.
Very nice.
Sounds about right.
Other than watching Neon Genesis.
Of
course.
course.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we'll see what Miyazaki is up to soon.
Hopefully.
Perhaps at Game of the Year awards, or the Game Awards rather, not Game of the Year awards. What else was there? Not too much to talk about here, but Microsoft has confirmed a shortage of Xbox controllers. So don't break any more, Zeke, because They're hard to find. No more breaking for a little while. I don't know
Temporary.
why.
Temporary.
I buy mine used anyway.
Oh, okay. Smart man.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
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 No,
He
I
gets
learned
his
a
like
long time
5
ago
in a
that I
plastic
don't.
bag.
Yeah, I don't buy any controllers new anymore, unless they come with the console or whatever. With the rare times that I buy a console,
Right.
all of my controllers come from the pawn shop, and whatever eBay online used sales for half price, because I know I'm not unaware of who I am.
Sometimes you just have to identify yourself and you work around it.
Yeah.
I have lots of things in my
Speaking of
life like
that,
that.
my first therapy session is tomorrow.
Nice.
Ever?
Nice. Even better.
You made it this long?
I know, right? Dude, I know, right?
I'm actually impressed. That's awesome, dude. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
Like,
good
real
for you.
talk.
That's great.
Good for you, dude.
No,
That's,
dude,
that's huge.
last time we were together playing that goddamn golf game, and like I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't calm down.
Yeah. Zeke,
Holy shit.
I'll tell you this. Every therapist is different. My therapist really enjoys when I just show them moments that occurred, because everything I do is recorded.
Oh my god, I didn't
so
think about
I
that.
just
How
show them
useful
that,
would
and they're
be.
like, "Oh yeah, here's exactly what happened mentally, and why X led to Z led to Y, blah 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 blah." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is easy. Here's why that happened." I'm like, "Okay, how do I stop that?" And they're like, "Well," and then the session starts. So
Yeah, dude.
just
No,
show them
that's
some
I didn't
recording.
even
Have
think
you-
about that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Wii?
Man, I'll tell you this, dude. I live in Colorado now, and like it's readily available. I am a regular at the weed shop because I go there all the time to pick up weed for the lady. But God, I'm just jealous. I'm so super jealous that weed doesn't cooperate. Like weed hits me harder than like LSD ever did. Like it just like goes. Broop. It takes me completely out of myself, and I don't
Oh.
feel right.
Yeah.
I wish it was compatible. Like, I wish it made me feel like other people feel, I suppose.
Sure.
It just never did. And it sucks because it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
I really, really tried. I'm like,
I think it
try
has to
again.
be. I think you have to be like the right person for it to actually benefit you. Because for me, it just amps my anxiety up to like unseen levels, so to speak. So
and
Also, you
before
changed
go
throughout
into
your
it,
life.
guys. Like,
True.
I've tried all the strains. I've tried the hybrids. I've tried this, that, the other thing. Like, that's why I said not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
And like, one of the strains makes me anxious and paranoid, and the other one, makes me completely like lethargic and apathetic. And also, that's the one that makes me feel like I'm 3 feet thick and my fingers aren't really touching things. Like that feeling.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm proud of you for taking the step. Therapy is fantastic.
Big time.
Everyone should do some form of therapy or check it out at least once. I look at it the same way as like if you work out or you care about your body at all, this is just the same thing, but for your brain, for your mind. It's important
And most
to do.
importantly, the biggest thing is, and shout this for the people in the back. Therapy is not a sign of weakness.
Yeah,
There's
not at all.
such an unfortunate stigma. And I'll be blunt. I grew up in that environment where therapy was seen as a form of weakness. Like that's what you do when you can't handle it yourself. Is you see someone, and the thing is that's ridiculous. That's like the argument was like, you shouldn't go to school and have someone teach you. You should do it yourself. It's like, yeah, but why don't I have somebody who actually knows the situation and can inform me and make it better quicker? Why don't I talk to them about it?
Yep.
Why not go to somebody who understands how we work and they can help make this easier instead of me just sitting here struggling with it, not knowing what's going on? So the idea that it's like, even today, we've had this conversation in my chat, and people in chat today that I know are older people are like, nah, I don't need therapy.
Totally.
Doesn't matter if you don't need it. It can help. It still can help even if you don't need it.
Growing up, my mom had severe depression, and she took medication all her life. And I would talk to her about it every once in a while. And one time, she said something very, very important to me, and it stuck with me. She said something to the effect of, I'm paraphrasing, obviously it was years ago, but she said, if you broke your leg, you would go to the doctor to help him fix your leg, right? Why wouldn't you do the same for a broken brain? Like if your brain doesn't work right, it doesn't fire the right chemicals, or give you enough of this or that or the other thing. Like there should be no shame in that. Like that's nothing, not your fault. Nothing you had to do with it. Like, and that always that just resonated with me, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. She's right. It's good. I hope everything goes well.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's
I'm
always
excited.
the other age old adage about therapy is like might not get it right on the first one in terms of a therapist.
Right?
So,
Yeah. Chop around.
The absolute best therapist in the world may not even be a good therapist for you. Like
Mhm.
it's a compatibility thing. Like it doesn't matter how accredited someone is; it just matters that they work for you.
Yep.
So like people like we've again going back to conversations we've had in chat. People are like, "Yeah, I tried therapy once and it didn't work. Try it again." Like
Yeah.
you may have just gotten somebody that it didn't work right with you. Someone out there will work for you. Just keep trying.
It's very true.
I really feel bad for the people who can recognize and are trying to deal with narcissism or egotism or self-centeredness, trying to find a therapist. Because I've known a couple of people who nah, I can't. I'm smarter than them.
Yeah.
I can't be therapized by someone I'm smarter than. It
Sure.
was really hard for them to find a fucking therapist.
Yeah. It's there's been a lot of what am I trying to say? Like TV shows or something where they film like therapy sessions. Usually what works, at least on TV in that sense, probably doesn't work in the real world, is like the therapist gets really combative with the person in the sense of like they'll actually shut down their ego or their narcissism by like having a bigger ego. Being like, I do this for a
You
living.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Listen to someone who knows what they're talking about.
This is my job, you moron. Like, I do this for a living. You sit there and shut up and talk to me about this type of stuff. So, I don't know if that's how it works in the real world. It probably doesn't, but who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I hope everything goes well with that, Zeke.
Yep.
And
by the way, if you didn't see the tweet or whatever out there, I'm going to be updating everybody with my journey with this, just in case anybody else has the same kind of mentality that I do, where there's raging and everything's falling apart. And if I find any useful tools in my talks with a therapist that I think might help, I will definitely be sharing them on social media and probably on my stream and stuff. So
awesome, as you should. That's good stuff. Jumping back over to the news. Cohh, you played a little bit of that Fall Guys after it went free to play. They celebrated 20 million players in the first 48
Last
hours
night,
of free to play.
And I'm playing tonight.
Yeah, how is it? Are you noticing the effects of the free to playness, or does it just feel like Fall Guys? And
I'm noticing the effects of the free to playness in the effect where the second I hit my lobby code to open, it fills within like 3 to 5 seconds. Which is cool.
Okay.
I like
cool.
being able. It's awesome where you can literally just tell your chat, want to play with the streamer? Go download this game. It's free, and they do, and then you play with them. The game itself is pretty much still Fall Guys. They have made some cool changes. You can turn on auto grabbing for ledges and stuff by default. They've made some little QOL stuff. There's tons of new maps, lots of new game modes. I mean, it's Fall Guy. It's 90% Fall Guys, and then just a bunch of new stuff on top of it.
Cool. Are the new levels good? That's obviously the most.
The new levels are awesome. They added in these new really speedy things. They made it. That level you always finish on with the platforms that disappear and you fall down the levels.
Yes.
And then eventually you fall into the goo.
Yep.
They put that on a rotating thing. So it rotates and then everyone has to there's a lot of really fun ones. There's a volleyball game now. There's new races. There's bouncy castle style things where rings come through and you got to jump in them. Just lots and lots and lots of new stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
So it's fun.
They didn't take out hexagon fall thing. They didn't take.
Oh, it's still there too. No, all the old ones are still there too. So it's just there's just even more now. Essentially,
I thought about going back and playing it, but I'm not going to now. I'm not gonna. If they keep that fucking game in there, I'm not going to play anymore.
I'm
gonna have to double my therapy.
I played solo public games for the first time back since I played a year ago, year and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
Won my first 2 games in a row. Which brings me to my next point. There are lots of new players.
A lot of new people out there.
So
a lot of Switch users.
the new free to play thing has definitely brought the sweaty tryhard level that was probably sitting there pretty entrenched due to it, not really getting many updates for a year and a half. That is now shot back up to new players all over the place. So if you're a
Cool.
noob farmer, then you might have a good time if you jump in right now for free.
Awesome. Do they have a lot of
Also, make sure to use code Ezekiel_3 when getting it. It helps.
Oh, is it only available on Epic?
Dude, Epic bought Fall Guys. They straight bought them. It's only on Epic. They own it now. Yeah.
I guess I forgot about that. What
It was kind of under the radar because I think they bought them, and then the only thing that changed was that if you played it on Steam, then you had to like connect your Epic account. Like that was the only difference. But now when it went free to play, they axed it from Steam. Gone. So now to download it for free, you have to get it on Epic.
What did they pay?
And
I don't think it was public.
as someone
what
just
they
said in
paid.
chat, mine now, money back. That's right.
Oh,
Right. That's right. Epic said, yoink, you are mine now.
yeah. I don't think it was disclosed how much they paid for it.
No clue.
I'm just reading through. I don't see it in any of these stories. Huh.
Oh, you can still play it on Steam if you owned it. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. So you can only get it for free
I'm
on Epic now.
updating my Fall Guys right now. My
On Steam?
Steam version.
You,
Fall
I'm
Guys,
pretty sure even if you play it on Steam, though, you still need to join it to your Epic account, I think. A little thing
Really?
pops up
Yeah.
when it comes up. I believe so. Yeah. Okay, we're talking about
I
Fall
mean,
Guys.
Yeah.
Is that really that bad? Like you got to have another like game launcher. Like everybody has like at least 3, 4. If you're an avid gamer, not a true gamer, but an avid gamer, like you game a lot,
Yeah, you got a lot.
you got a lot of launchers
I
anyway.
mean, and yeah, I'm looking at
whatever.
my taskbar. I've
Okay.
got Steam, Epic, Origin, Uplay.
Let me preface the response to what you said, Zeke, by first stating I am an Epic partner. I have my own code and everything.
Yeah, I think we all are.
And then second, to answer your question, yes, it's the principle of the situation. The principle. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that was said. So chat has a voice.
There you go.
I mean, it takes sweaty nerds to complain over something going for like being sold for nothing, for $0. It's like, hey, we're gonna give this game to you for free, but you got to go through this other door instead. You can't go through the left door. You got to go through the right door. Fuck that! I've been going through the left door for 20 years. I am not going through the right door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's,
Accurate.
and this is the same thing I say to people when I'm like, hey, Epic is giving yet another free game away. You never need to buy it. All you need is an Epic account. And people go, no, I will not get that free game. The only proper response is, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Great. You don't want free stuff? Okay.
That's correct.
So anyway, how you doing?
And also, if you're watching this stream, it means you probably like one of us, and all of us, and they treat us that creator code shit pretty good. It's a pretty good thing, like for creators and stuff. If you use their creator code, I'm not making like a good $1 billion every month, but it's a substantial amount. Like you look at it like, oh shit, okay, cool. So
more importantly, the biggest reason I'm still with it is they're super chill about it. They don't ask you to say anything about Epic. They don't ask you to promote anything outside of the code if you play the games, which we did anyway before this whole program even started. Like it's easy. It's just a great win for streamers. It's very nice of them to do it. So,
I agree.
yeah. I'll tell you this though, if they did pay me on top of being an Epic partner, you would not hear anything else out of my mouth except I would delete my Steam account. I would completely delete my Steam account. I would call other services absolute trash because money talks and it talks loud in my ear for sure.
Understood.
Oh wow.
Understood.
Wow.
Did you guys ever play Heroes of Newerth back in the day? The old Han?
The MOBA?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's permanently shut down as of this past week after 12
Anthony
years.
and Fairlight and those guys had like a big send-off celebration.
Yeah. 12 years finally shut it down.
Yeah.
Sad stuff.
Is that an MMO?
It was a MOBA. Yeah, it was at the time bigger than League of Legends Dota is arguable in terms of size and whatnot. And Dota 2 didn't come out, I think, till a year or so after it came out, after Han came out. But it was for its time, it was a pretty big deal. It did pretty well back in the day. Unfortunately, though, once League of Legends and Dota 2 after that came out, those just became like the two big ones. They took over that genre. And yeah,
Heroes of Newerth was before LoL and Dota.
yes, I don't know the exact timeline in terms of how it all worked out, but I think Han was first to market, unless League was maybe in beta before it.
Was it?
It's hard to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forget exactly when it all. It's honestly been 12 years. It's when that all started. I'm sure this article states what the timeline was, but Han was 2010. Yeah, Dota 1 was first. Dota started as a Warcraft 3 mod, so it was the origin of all of this.
That was the MOBA. That was
yeah.
the first MOBA, was Dota as the Warcraft 3 mod.
Yep. And then that spawned League of Legends, and that spawned Dota 2, and that spawned Han, and that spawned, all the other MOBAs that have existed over the past 12 years, because there was a lot. It was the Overwatch 2 of its generation, or the Overwatch 1 rather of its generation, where everyone just tried to copy it. But it's no longer available. They shut down. I didn't know that Anthony and Fairlight did like a send-off stream for it though. Were they just playing it? Was that the?
Yeah, I think they were kind of playing it, and they all had like in their title like best MOBA ever. Like just they were having a good time with it.
Nice.
I think they were both fans. So.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
It was nice to it got its last little hurrah.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why it got played less and less after LoL and Dota? Is it just because? Well, I mean, if they just started out, they wouldn't have all the money backing them, or did they?
I think like League of Legends really in terms of its success. Like it just blew the fuck up. And I'm not intelligent enough about the game or the history of the game to tell you why that was. I just know that it spiraled and was crazy popular. Probably like ease of access and all that type of stuff. Right time. Oh, it was free. Okay. Was it? I guess League was free to play and Han was buy to play. That's probably why. Yeah.
But it was buy the game to play it. Not, it wasn't like pay to win, right?
No. It was like buy $50 game.
I think I see people in chat like possibly getting that those terms confused. Pay to play rather than pay to win.
Yeah.
Completely different ideas.
Yeah, and I guess eventually Han went free to play as well. So yeah, just
pay to win came later is what people say. Well, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense then.
What else was there? This is kind of an interesting situation. So you can now, or at least it's popping up now. When you get banned in Minecraft, this also blocks you from playing on private servers. So once you're banned, you're banned. Like you literally cannot play the game except for single player Minecraft, I think, is the thing behind this. And obviously that that pissed a lot of people off. It's a true ban for going on public servers. It also means private servers. And a lot of people were, maybe rightfully upset about that. I don't know. What's y'all's take on being banned on a server means you're banned from all servers type deal? That's similar to like being banned from one streamer means you're banned from all streamers type deal.
Personally, like I think if you like, it depends on the reason of the ban. Like what were the reasons for these types of bans?
Let's see if they have that.
Is it like hacking and stuff like that?
I think it's just any ban. Now, whenever a player is banned from an online server, it'll apply to all servers, including any personal or private servers they have access to, such as those among the Realm servers. These bans will need to be reviewed by a moderator before they go into effect. So it seems like anything.
So it seems like for some things, I think that makes perfect sense. Like scammers, real money traders, like there's certain things where it's like, if they're actively doing something, it's clear that that's the purpose that they're in the game. So it's kind of like, that's so in case by case basis, I think that would be great. But honestly, what I'm trying to say is what should probably happen is if they get banned on one server, it should most likely they should just destroy their computer, like via some kind of virus, or maybe if they can get in touch with every other game creator and they could just ban them from gaming as a whole,
Yeah,
including single player games. I think that'd probably be the best course of action.
I agree. I agree.
And frankly, it doesn't matter why they're banned. Just if they're banned, it should just floodgates open and they're done.
Well, how effective is it, since it's not an IP ban? How effective is it just doing an account ban?
I think that's what it is. So this says with the Minecraft 1.19.1 update, the game addresses technical issues as well as how bans work. For bans, when players experience a problem with another, they can send in a ban request, which must include a valid reason to Mojang. Mojang is the game developer. If the ban is approved, the player will be removed from both online servers and realms. I don't know the difference between those two, but since these bans are irrevocable, players will be limited to a single player mode after that. Additionally, banned players will now receive a pop-up window indicating their ban as well as providing a reason for it. Though the change to the ban system affects the social aspects of gameplay, the update also applies a number of technical and bug fixes dealing. Okay, yeah, so that's it on that. So it seems like Mojang is kind of, the deciding factor there, not necessarily the server admin. It's a ban request.
I think as long as that's the
Mojang.
case, as long as there's a human element making sure that this stuff is valid,
yeah,
that's relatively okay. If there is some kind of way for that to be fabricated or something of that nature, which I don't think so, because I'm assuming it's like official servers, then that could be a big issue. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're trying to cover as many loopholes as they can. And honestly, I mean, it's the kind of thing where if it's going to make a player that's teetering on the edge of, in lack of a better word, a shit tier troller, where if it even makes one of them be like, well, actually, I don't want to get banned on every server. Maybe I should chill a little bit. Like, it's kind of a win. Like if the punishment is actually relatively severe, where maybe somebody has a home server, but they're fine going off on other servers and just becoming a complete asshole, and then they always just go back to their home server. If they're like, well, that means I can't go to my home server anymore, that's kind of a win,
Well,
I guess, in a little bit.
Bunny Mountain said in my chat, it's super effective because people used to just VP or change their IP and just come right back.
Yeah, that makes
Use
sense.
The VPN, right?
Yeah.
And someone else said your Microsoft account is linked to it as well.
Right. Yeah, because Microsoft owns Mojang now. So.
Geesh.
Oh, now that would be, see, that's the kind of thing that's interesting, where it's like, if they are going that direction with it, like, what if it's the kind of thing where you could get banned from all Microsoft products, kind of thing, like Microsoft servers as a whole?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of like, I guess, Steam banning, kind of, in a way, right?
Yeah.
Can Steam do something like that?
I don't know.
The VAC ban?
Can you get I guess a VAC ban? Yeah, but does that ban your whole Steam account though? Like, can you not access your games that you've purchased? I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a thing that makes it so you can't use online stream servers, and then there's another one that makes it so you can't access your account, period.
Okay. VAC bans only ban you to games using VAC. So like,
yeah, which is multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Through Steam, right? VAC ban only works on Valve games. VAC secured games. Okay. It's only this. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if they banned your Microsoft account and then you can't get into like your Outlook for work.
Jesus, man.
You can't access MS Word anymore.
Dude, the scary thing is that happens. That's happened more than a few times. I've seen like professionals like really get, like, if somebody gets their Google account banned.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That makes your email disappear, docs, like everything you've ever had attached. Like it's a mess. Every system that it touches
wasn't
get
there
removed from.
Fairly prominent streamer that had like that happen to him, that very thing where he lost access to his Google account and it got everything. I remember that being on Twitter recently. I forgot who it was though.
The worst part about it is all the instances I've seen of that. It is so difficult, in many cases impossible, to like find somebody to actually reverse it.
That like, it was the creator of Terraria. That's who it was. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
Did you ever work
happened.
it out?
I think so, because it's, I don't. Chad will give us the update here. If it got fixed, I would hope so. Didn't he pull his game from Stadia? Was that also part of the deal where the Terraria guy pulled his game from Stadia at the last second?
I remember.
Google eventually.
I thought he did that in response to it, though. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he did it
Maybe.
I don't think he pulled the game and then they banned him. I think like the whole thing happened and then he got super angry that they weren't helping him with it, and he was like, "Well, fine, I'm not going to use Stadia then."
Yeah. That's a mess. Losing your Google account would be a
We'll look into it
massive
more.
mess.
Yeah.
What else is there? Dragon's Dogma was hitting highest peak concurrent on Steam, thanks to the Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement.
Oh yeah,
I
looking
saw
forward
that
to
was
returning to
peaking.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, how was yours?
It was good. I'm that game. How do I talk about this in a non-spoiler way? That game is very long. If you're going for full completion, let's go with that. And I'm at the point where it's like, do I want to grind for 10 to 30 hours? Because it's RNG based in terms of how the loot drops to get the quote true ending.
Really?
Or am I good now? I think the answer that I'm at right now is that I'm good now. But it also does scratch the itch of like, loot and getting and acquiring loot because you're essentially farming at that point. So I might do a little bit more off stream just to show like the true ending on stream. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. I never played the DLC for it, and it was fantastic.
Pretty cool.
The DLC for that is essentially a I wouldn't call it like a roguelike. You're essentially just going into one dungeon over and over and over, and the dungeon kind of changes from time to time. So maybe that is roguelike. And loot, the
cool.
issue with loot is that there's a variance on it. So like one chest can have 4 or 5 different spawns of the loot in it, as well as just having an item that you can go and get, and then you have to get that item appraised type deal. So overall, it was very good. Very fun to just grind through. So good time.
What's up, buddy?
Uh-oh, Cohh's got
I'm
kids
doing
aggro.
I'm doing a talk show right now.
I'll mute him while he's talking to the kid. But yeah.
He won't know what a talk show is. It's a podcast. Tell him a podcast. He'll know what that is.
Oh, now you're unmuted, Cohh. But wait, now you're muted on your end. But when
What
you're
about
yeah, now you're good.
Okay, on my screen, I definitely have the your mic is muted thing.
Weird. Yeah, you're not.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, he thinks it's weird too.
He's right. He's right in that.
This is Rowan, and he's huge.
That's a yellow shirt.
I'm gonna be your chat right now, Cohh. Ready? Ask him about the kick in the face. What's the deal with the kick in the face?
Yeah, you were kicking when Kai was kicking you in the face, and you were like, "I like being kicked in the face."
Yeah, why less? I'm strong enough to take that.
There you go. Yeah,
Wow.
strong enough to take getting kicked in the face. There you go,
Wow.
man.
You got a super.
Can you show me
I'm
them?
done.
Show me them muscles.
a
Big muscles?
superhero here.
You do.
You.
I'm the strongest brother.
He's the strongest brother. He
Yeah.
is. He's the strongest brother.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna.
This kid has confidence with a capital C. Just
Awesome.
My is belt.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He's the strongest fighter. Yep.
Mhm.
He's gonna be a fighting game star. Jeez.
See that guy right here? His name is Zeke, and you could totally beat him up.
You could.
He's gonna be there in August. You could record that.
That's right.
That's all the
He's
rage
invisible
now.
person.
Yeah, we got to cover that part of the news. A boxing match. Sell pay-per-view.
I could do that.
I'm actually only this big in real life.
Yes, he's actually that tall. He's about that tall in real life.
I'm like just a little bit taller than Ant-Man.
I don't know if Cohh has he seen
That's
any?
your weight.
Oh,
What?
I don't want to interrupt.
That's your
him.
weight.
He says, "I bet you're way taller than."
Yeah.
You're right, I am.
You got him.
A little bit. No, we haven't seen any Marvel movies yet. We're still doing like the Disney and Pixar's and things like that.
Got it.
No Marvel movies quite yet.
Okay. You got 29 of them ready whenever you decide to jump in. So a lot of
Keep that in
time.
mind.
A lot of time.
All right, buddy. I gotta focus. You want to say goodbye, everybody?
Bye.
Bye
I'll be
bye.
right back.
We'll mute Cohh there while he's handling the kid. What else was there? Zeke, did you ever play Dragon's Dogma, by the way? I feel like that
I
game
did.
is right up your alley.
Yeah, I played it years ago, I think. Pretty sure. Let me actually check it. I think I might have played on console.
Yeah, that's where I first played it. Was on PS3 because it didn't come out on PC till 2014, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even have it in my Steam account. I have Dark Arisen.
Right. It launched with the DLC added into it, I think, on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was years ago. Now, Dragon's Dogma and Dragon Age, I get confused a little bit.
Yeah.
What is the biggest difference gameplay wise?
Dragon's Dogma is like CRP, or sorry, Dragon Age is like CRPG, and Dragon's Dogma is like full 3D type deal. Well, full like third person type combat. So you're like climbing on monsters, and it's real time. Whereas Dragon Age is more like CRPG. There's turns. It's turn based.
Dragon Age is real time with pause.
Yeah.
RTWP.
That's one of the not issues, but I never died in Dragon's Dogma in the sense that I never had a full reset, because you can literally just pause and like I think I know a lot of this was because some of the mods, I took a lot of the annoying aspects out, but by doing that, it changed the way that the main game is in terms of healing. For example, the weight system in that game is one of the biggest annoyances for me. So that you'd go out, you'd leave the town and go and, do the exploring, do the dungeoneering, whatever. And you would have to like balance the weight across all of your party members. So I just had a mod that got rid of that. But what that meant is that I could have 200 potions on my main character. And if I ever took damage, I could just heal myself. Granted, those still cost money. So I had that, to overcome to get all those potions. But definitely made the game a lot easier in that regard. Because if you got knocked down to like any HP, you just would spam pots. But it's the nice thing about playing on the PCs that you can mod it. The other thing, I had infinite stamina because you walk in that game. There's riding. You can ride an ox, but it's not like riding a horse. You don't get like a horse to ride around in the world. And so I just sprinted everywhere. And if anything, that probably cut my playtime down. I spent 53 hours in it, which is a significant amount. But I would imagine that would be a lot higher if I wasn't able to just sprint everywhere. So...
now, is Dragon Dogma the one where you have teammates and you tell them what to do?
Yeah. You have pawns. You have a pawn that you create, and then 2 other pawns that are from other people that they have created and then like put on the internet for you to download.
No, you said pawn, and it would just like
it came back to you.
It brought it back to like, oh, that's this game. Okay. Because I remember I made like a barbarian chick with like a huge fucking hammer.
Yep.
You're just like smashing through everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember it now.
It's good stuff.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Maybe we should play through it again.
You should. The mods make it fantastic. There's a lot of mods out there in terms of just HD mods. You don't need mods to play the game though. It runs fine and plays just fine without them, even if it is a older game. But the mods aren't hard to install. It's all on like the Nexus site, and you can use their loader. Just click a button and the mod gets installed type deal. Very easy to set up.
My chat is reminding me that I did actually play it. I think I played it on stream, and I did play it on stream, and I had pawns. I had man and spamfish as pawns.
Yeah, I had I saw Spamfish. He was in when I was just. I think I might have saw one of your pawns, maybe. There's some abominations on there that is really fun. That are both.
That sounds like mine.
I also had it only happened once, and it happened towards the end of the playthrough. I was walking around in the town, and I walked up to a random dude because he had like some cool armor, and you can like click on him, and it will show you the stats and all the details of him. So I clicked on him, and then right in front of my entire stream, the pawn was named the N-word, a name that had the N-word in it, just spelled out, not any, and I'm just like, oh, fucking shit. So I like get out of there, and I tell Moz, yeah, don't post the VOD. We'll have to highlight that and delete that aspect of it. But like, you had to be a little careful. It only happened once, but I guess you could probably troll some people somehow if you just make a lot of, I'm not going to say how, but there should be ways to be able to do that, I guess. Yeah, so that sucked. But apart from that, the rest of the online experience was great. I saw Cohh had, I named my pawn chat. Cohh's character chat is also on there. That was like level 45. And if you're friends with people on Steam, you can then hire their pawns for free. Otherwise, you have to use like the in-game currency, which you can only earn through doing things called RC. You have to use RC to get a higher level pawn, or you just get a friend's higher level pawn. But I saw Cohh's chat in there. I saw Spamfish. I saw a bunch of different people's pawns, which is hilarious that all that stuff still exists so many years after the fact.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. So, Zeke, if you end up playing, or Cohh, if you end up playing, and you see a very large, very swole female sorcerer named Chat, they're incredibly broken at very high level. So, might break your game in terms of the difficulty factor if you decide to add them to the party.
So that's a question. Can you use the mods in Dragon's Dogma to like way overclock your fucking pawns that other people can use?
Yeah, I didn't download it, but there is like a character editor to where you can just apply stats and everything to your character if you want to.
So wait, you can do that to pawns that then other people that aren't using the mods can then put in their game?
I don't know how that works. There is some sense that chat was saying that some things get banned, and I think those might be in certain ways Capcom is able to detect if a character, or sorry, if a pawn has been edited like that, and I don't think they're playable or usable.
That was the question I wanted to ask, but Cohh asked it better.
Yeah, modded pawns do get banned, is what one of my chats just said. And I never found anyone that was like modded, that seemed modded. Everyone, whenever I would go and like search for random pawns to add to the party, they always seemed level appropriate and gear appropriate. So it was fine. In general, I didn't break the game that way. But you can, if you just know what you're doing, the game's not necessarily super difficult. You'll just get up against an enemy that has like an obscene amount of HP and you're doing like no damage to it. And so those fights become incredibly long, but they're not difficult by any means. Unless you get into like a situation where you're fighting 3 Cyclopses at once and your characters are just getting one shot every single second. You're having to go like spam res. You'll typically just leave that area immediately.
Sounds annoying.
Yeah, I got that. That was the only time I got super upset, is when people were literally dying like almost every single second. So apart from that though, great. It was fantastic. I put 53 hours into it on stream. I might play a little bit more off stream to try to get that second ending, but there's a lot of grinding to it. So we will see what happens. What else was there in news?
When is 2 supposed to come out?
There's no date to it yet.
No date.
Oh,
yeah. I would say we're probably 2 or 3 years out. At least 2
Oh, really?
years.
So way down the line. Okay.
Yeah. All they showed when they announced it was a logo. So I would expect we're a ways out. I'd be very surprised if we're anywhere closer than that.
There's a few people in chat talking about like the viewership numbers of Twitch and of like one particular stream, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with it really.
Yeah, so there's a streamer yesterday by the name of Ibai who did a it was like a boxing thing between creators. I'm not necessarily 100% sure what the content actually
Creator
was.
Clash.
It was called Creator Clash? Okay. So yeah.
No. I think that's what the first one was called. There's been a few of them now.
Okay. Yeah, it's basically boxing between like streamers or YouTubers.
This is the second year he did it, Cat saying.
Creators, yeah. And there's like a concert, I think, associated with it. Very high production. It was a full on like boxing ring set up in an arena, sold out arena. And he broke the viewership record, which was previously 2.5 million. And I think he cracked like 3.1 for the numbers that I saw. It's 3.3?
3.3.
3.3 million people on a single stream. Yeah. To put that in perspective, I think a lot of people are using the idea that WWE SmackDown had 2 million people watching last week. So this got more viewers than that. There was also by 1 million. I think some of the other things was that it set the record for the highest viewership for a female boxing match ever. That was also another stat that people were throwing around. It was a huge deal. A big deal as well for like, if people didn't notice or know what Twitch was or know what Twitch is, it definitely like legitimizes the entirety of the platform. I think for a lot of people that didn't, right? Like it'll turn heads in the Hollywood area because of something like this. It is an outlier, right? Like this isn't an everyday occurrence, but 3.3 million people watching a singular stream is definitely a big fucking deal. To put it in perspective of other forms of entertainment, if you look at like the Super Bowl last year, I think was 115 million people all in. So, you know, not arguably, it is massively dwarfed in comparison to that. But hey, for 3.3 million on this Twitch site, never would have thought that would be possible. That's a wild, wild number to consider that it was on a single stream and that, you know, that he was able to hit that, let alone that Twitch was able to support that. That's also another feat that a lot of
It's
people
also
are
interesting to
talking
think about is it's like it was a Spanish speaking stream.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was all in Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think. I don't think there is almost anything that an NA streamer could do to break that number.
I don't think so either.
Like that's wild. It's
Yeah.
like Twitch is straight up bigger in the non-NA sector. Not only that, this is something that's been kind of like happening slowly over the last like 5 to 8 years. But now many of the biggest streams on Twitch are not English speaking.
Yeah.
In fact, there's times where like the entire top 10 on Twitch is not English speaking. It's cool to see Twitch kind of like really start getting out there. It's healthy for the site as a whole for sure.
Yeah.
But it makes it very interesting to think like what other markets they're going to get into and how that's going to kind of affect everything as a whole. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, not only related because of the Spanish speaking part. Did you guys see that? I know that like Mr. Beast has multiple YouTube channels in terms of other languages, but Dr. Disrespect put up a new YouTube channel where it's only Spanish speaking. Like all of his content, I think he voices over it, and it's all Spanish. And like that's the content that he's putting out there and trying to do, which is an interesting
Wait a minute.
thing.
He speaks the Spanish over top of it?
I think it's him. Yeah, I think he's the one
Wow.
speaking. It sounds like him. If it's not him, they
He
found
needs-
someone that sounds like him.
That's smart because he's going to need every single market he can to sell that NFT game.
Yeah. He was on, I saw on Twitter, he was in New York this past week and they like took over Times Square for what's his game called? It's like
Midnight Society.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
Midnight Society. I don't know if the game has. I don't think that's the game. I think it's a studio name.
Oh, that's a studio. Okay. Yeah. They took over a corner of Times Square with their logo on that. I think that was.
Oh, learn Spanish. Hey, hablo español.
Yeah.
La biblioteca derecha de lo baño.
There you go. There you go. I do wonder.
I think
if
I'm
a
the
lot of
offensive
creators
one.
do that.
Hey, not speaking a language well is not offensive.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Person
offensive.
looked dumb.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was
Tengo
being
clases
chatty
mis-
for a second.
Tengo
That's
clases en mi
where
escuela por 4 años, pero no me quiero mucho.
There you go. There you go. A little bit.
it's good.
I was joking with my chat the other day yesterday when this Ibai 3.3 million viewer stream. What do you think an ad makes? A single 30-second ad makes?
Ibai,
on
by
that?
the way.
I thought it was Ibai. Is it Ibai?
Ibai.
Okay. What do you think an ad
single
makes?
30-second ad.
I said
for a stream of
10K,
3.3
but I
million.
think I said that was
I
high
would
at the time.
guess-
I think that's low.
I would guess $75,000 to $90,000.
I think that seems
And no, I would say
Better.
multi-minute for that much. 30-second, probably like 50.
okay.
Probably like 50K.
Still an
Gotta think,
absurd amount.
3.3 million impressions. Like that's
We're not
that's
saying
more than
there
many streamers
were
see in
ads.
like a month.
No, I don't know what the ads were.
Yeah. We're just
process.
speculating as to what you would get.
Oh yeah,
for
I
30
have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. What
At
their
least
process was.
350.
It's definitely a lot.
Maybe
Well, put
even
it to you this way: like this might be a better like comparison, I guess. The NBA Finals on television averaged 12.4 million viewers. Like,
Yeah.
So like a quarter, 25% of that is what is people watching Twitch.
Or one channel on Twitch.
Yeah, one channel on Twitch. Oh, what was the Twitch record? The Twitch record was like 6.7 or something.
Oh,
like
I don't
in Twitch
know.
code?
Was that broken yesterday?
I would be surprised if not.
Yeah, I would suppose so.
I saw a tweet about it. Yeah, I saw a tweet about it breaking records or whatever.
Yeah.
Since January 21, whatever happened then.
Yeah, the Twitch record was broken. No, not single concurrent chat. We're saying like Zeke's saying overall,
Yeah,
like
the whole
entirety of
Twitch
Twitch
as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have had to have been broken, I would assume. Wow. That's his Twitch video? Psychoism in my chat says Ibai's most recent video has 46.3 million views on, I think that's on Twitch. That's kind of insane.
Damn, dude.
For a number that doesn't necessarily mean much, you could probably have some fun with that number and do some napkin math to see things like ads and whatnot. That's fucking crazy. That's wild to hear. I wonder what is next, because you make a good point that like I don't think an English speaking channel could do that, because we've already seen all the biggest English streamers on multiple events on one channel, and it only 500,000 600,000 was generally the highest.
What's interesting is and it's even crazier to think that like not only that, but sometimes like a lot of there's a lot of big IRL streamers, and they tend to, as we've seen especially over the last few years, really gravitate around themselves. They orbit each other.
Yeah.
So like if one of them has a big event, they just invite all of their friends, and then they kind of combine viewership for a big event, and then they all go off and do their own thing. Like, while that works a lot of the time, sometimes it just doesn't. Like a big example is being like, dude, there was this huge produced thing that a streamer named Amaranth did, and she invited like tons of big streamers out, and then it got like a little under twice her normal viewership. And it's like, and that was a month-long planning conglomerate, like, I'm gonna put all my effort into this kind of thing. And then there's other events where they'll bring people out, and it's turns into a huge thing. And even like you'll see them on the stream like saying, hey, don't know why this took off, but it's interesting to see how the trends flow around that. Like, even the most promoted things don't necessarily mean huge spikes in viewership.
Yeah.
And where we've seen a whole bunch of those, like a good example of one really working was like the OTK show was pretty big. I mean, that had hundreds of thousands. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when's the next time something like that's going to happen? So it's wild. And even the biggest ones in those regard, like, don't come close to 3.3. Like,
yeah, there's a pretty significant difference to 100,000, 200,000.
Those are the
viewers.
Biggest of those type.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah. Now, if you put XQC up against like Soda Poppin' and they fight and it's promoted, maybe you break 1 million. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's because a lot of people want to see XQC get punched in the face. So I mean, that's
I think that goes both ways. I think.
Probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably surprising how many streamers in general people would want to watch them get punched in the face.
Yeah, there's a reason why yesterday's content was such a big hit. I think people generally just want to see other people get punched in the face. Yeah, it's a big draw. It's a huge draw. A lot of punchable faces on this platform.
Just shake the entire infrastructure of the world and just do Asmongold versus XQC for like just punching each other in the face. Like, no rules. That's it.
Unless you're putting like a Bajira or something, I think any content creator that I could think of that is of the level of an Asmongold or an XQC, I think they're in the ring for 30 seconds and then they're on the floor from exhaustion. Like anyone of that level. None of those people have the Bajira body or any actual body, really, to get into a ring. It's a different type of activity than streaming. Wouldn't go that well. Zeke, what are you thinking? I could see that the cogs are turning.
I'm trying to think of who would be the person that I'd want to get in the ring with. And I'm not saying someone I hate, but someone like I think it would be a good fight.
Oh, yeah.
It would be fun. We'd still like, be cool afterwards. But also be like, weight class, right? That's why I didn't say Cohh or anything, because Cohh and I think I mean, unless you got like, because you've been working out, like I don't know if we match in weight class anymore.
I mean,
Or
I
ever
would
did.
fight you, but you know, I wouldn't. I would just overwhelm you. I feel like it wouldn't be much of a show, so it would.
That's what I'm
It'd be
saying,
kind of-
man.
It's kind of sad that I actually can't remember which of you is
Mm.
taller than the other.
I think me and Zeke.
I think
are around
Cohh
the
is
same
slightly
size.
taller than me. I'm
Maybe a little
6'1".
bit. Yeah, we're both right under you because you're
Yeah.
tall and really tall. Yeah. You're 6'4".
On a good day, yeah, 6'3".
Yeah,
I think my license
I'm like
says 6'4".
I'm like 6'2", 6'2", 3", depending
Yeah.
on how big my shoes are.
I'm kind of, it's kind of fucked up that I'm like, what do these people actually look like that I've worked with for over 8 fucking years? What do they look like?
You know what?
Person? I don't know if do they have legs? I don't.
If it wasn't just boxing, if it was like mixed martial arts, we could like I would definitely like do MMA shit with Elohim because I think we'd be a pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I think we'd be a pretty
To
good
be
match.
fair,
Battle
though-
of the beards.
Elo would kick your ass.
You
Think
think?
so?
His brother does MMA, and he used to like spar with him.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
he would. Yeah, Elo's a big fighter. So
Okay.
I wouldn't want to touch Elo. He would destroy me. Yeah. Why do you think I'm nice to him all the time?
You know what? Like I might pick like Gassy Mexican and just say like the Fight Club. Like I just felt like destroying something beautiful.
That's assuming he would show up to the fight.
It's true.
True.
Yeah, you'd have to tell him like 30 minutes before the actual time. That's the trick there. I think stripping would be a fun fight. Stripping comes from a very
Ooh.
athletic, like his
Pull
brother.
his hair.
Well, Strippin's brother is like a professional footballer, so he's comes from a very competitive and athletic family. So it might be a fight for 30 seconds, and then I'm on the floor, winded, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" That's probably how that would go. Yeah, I don't know if there would be anyone else that would be kind of thinking the same thing, Zeke. That would be an interesting fight. You'd have to do training ultimately, because if you just put people in there, if I just walked into a ring, 30 seconds to a minute is probably all.
That would I think most streamers are that way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
unless you're like Bajira or somebody where it's
Totally.
like, you know, it you just put them in a ring and it's just going to be kind of like those, instead of people cheering, they're going to be like, oh.
Yeah, it becomes just a sad affair rather than
It's
like
just kinda
one
sad.
that people are cheering for.
Oh.
Like the first 30 seconds are great. People get like 2 or 3 punches in, and then we're just wheezing over in the corner, taking as many breaths as possible.
Is breathing supposed to sound like that? Is that?
I'd ask the
No?
producers to not mic the arena because he just just a lot of that. It would
All
be
right,
bad.
we're going to our mic'd up section. Let's see what they're saying in there. I can't do it anymore. Oh yeah.
I didn't,
Where's the bell? I'm just gonna hit it. Where is it? Where's the bell?
I didn't watch the
Give me my
fights
vape.
yesterday.
Give me my vape real quick.
Actually, chat, were the fights like enjoyable yesterday? Were they actual fights, or were they what
Here we
were
go.
just describing?
Now, this may have been the one before it, but somebody said that's why in Creator Clash they all legit trained for months, so it was an actual show. The guy that ran it, iDubbbz. This is the Creator Clash,
that's
the English
Creator
one.
Clash.
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
made it like a rule or something that they had to properly train. And honestly, thinking about it, that's the really smart thing to do.
Totally.
Because it's a huge health hazard otherwise. If you actually take completely out of shape people and then put them in like fight or flight situations in front of thousands of other people,
Yeah.
that's a recipe for something terrible happening. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I agree. I didn't realize
Part of them.
that was part of the rule. That's good. The girls' fight was probably the best. Nice. Yeah, I didn't watch. I was streaming at the time, so I didn't watch any of the fights. Cool. That was the thing that happened. And that's kind of it for the news in general. Do you guys have any other things you want to bring into it in the world of news? I saw Chivilary launched on Steam. That sold over 300,000 or 400,000 units. Seems to be doing well.
I did a little sponsy
Nice.
streamy of Shiv, and it's
It's Shiv.
it's just as good as you remember it on Steam, but it has horses now, and some of the maps, and that's fucking fun, dude.
Oh, how did
They want to play that after Fall Guys.
It was a new free update for I think just like promoting the Steam launch and that kind of stuff. The Tenosian Invasion update. They have a new army, a few new maps, and horses for some of those maps and some of those game modes.
cool?
Yeah, and it's gonna be since I did a sponsor stream, they like told me all the info. Like it's already cross-platform play. It's going to soon be cross-platform save,
Progression or whatever.
and cross-platform grouping.
Nice. That'll be great.
Right now, you can only group up with your friends, like on Steam or whatever platform you're on. You can all play on the same server, which is fine. But soon it'll have all the cross integration that you can hope for.
Cool. There's a handful of stuff, new information on Final Fantasy 16 that was out there. Basically just talking about like how the combat's going to work, and you will have a party, but you won't be able to control them. And all the summon fights, all the icon fights as they call them in canon of 16, those are all like playable. Those aren't just like things happening in front of you. You're actually playing as Ifrit fighting like Titan, and they will operate as different types of games. One will be like I think they said one will be like a rail shooter, one will be like a fighting game. They'll have different aspects of it where each icon fight is different. So that sounds cool. I hope that game I hope it works out. Yeah, because that could also be really basic and not that interesting if done poorly. But hopefully it's done well. In Yoshi P, we trust. Did you watch the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, Cohh?
No,
You should.
I already know that I'm going to play it, so I don't
yeah.
want like any spoilers and stuff. I
Yeah.
started to play Xeno Chronicles DE, but I couldn't. It didn't really hook me, and I just don't have the time. I think I don't really want to do the 100-ish hours I need to, and then by the time I'm actually coming close to the end, like 3 is going to be here. So I'd rather just kind of, dive in fresh to that. But I had so many people tell me how good it was, and yeah,
it was a very.
Are you going to be playing XP3?
I think so. Yeah, we'll see. I like I always say, I get about one JRPG a year. I think that might be the one that it was really good in terms of what they showed and how the combat's going to work and all of that type of stuff. The only downside, and I talked at length about this when we covered it. The only downside is it's on the Switch, right? And like that, the Switch is fucking old. My chat was telling me you bought the little USB up reser thing, right? Like
I did.
Yeah, I watched a couple of videos about it. Have you tried it?
Nope.
Okay. It seemed like it. Yeah, that's exactly what I bought. It seemed okay. All the videos. I got it because I play the Switch on a 4K TV and it looks really bad. And apparently that helps with that a lot. Doesn't help FPS or anything. It just kind of smooths out the edges from all the footage that I saw. So yeah, if you didn't watch the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct though, 3 Direct, go watch it. It's good. They show a lot of good stuff in there, and it is pretty small on the story spoilers. It basically just sets up the story. I think that's it for news. We could take a break and then do a shorter second half on what we've been playing. I think it's all retreading stuff that we've played. I guess real quick before we wrap up, because my JPNN editor would be upset if I didn't mention this. Because it is the end of the quarter, there's a potential for a lot of state of plays and or Nintendo Directs this week, potentially announced on Monday.
This week?
Yeah, so people are saying that there is a God of War Ragnarok state of play on the 30th, this upcoming Thursday.
4 days.
Yeah. There's also a Nintendo Direct that may or may happen, focusing on third-party stuff sometime this week. None of that is confirmed, but if it is going to be confirmed, it would be sometime tomorrow, most likely. That's all just rumor, but it is the end of the quarter. You probably want to please investors if you're any of those companies. So I guess they've only got one more week to do it. And if there is some stuff like that, would we cover a God of War together? Or do you guys, is that something that interests you if they do a God of War state of play?
I'm a little torn because I know that every single thing in it that's new is just going to be more spoilers.
True.
So it's one of those, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll discuss in Slack.
This is something that hasn't been announced yet, right?
Yeah, it's all hearsay if it happens.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
weird.
I mean, if it's
4 days,
Yeah.
if I'm not like gone on that little mini vacation, I wouldn't mind watching with you.
Okay. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, there's also a Square Enix Star Ocean live stream for like 40 minutes of footage this week. That I think has been
Star Ocean?
confirmed. Yeah. Yeah, they announced the new Star Ocean a while back. 40 minutes is a lot to show. But I guess it is a JRPG. So maybe there's a billion systems in that game that they need to talk about it. Let's take a break. We'll come back and talk about what we've been playing for a little bit of a shorter second half, and then call it a show. Don't go anywhere. We got more drop frames coming up right after this. See you guys then.